daily monster, mate. My caffeine intake is probably becoming a bit of a problem. Monster every morning and then a pre before I go and train. But it is needed, otherwise I feel like I'm stuck in slow motion and workload is high, mate. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're well. I hope all is good. In today's video, we'll be going through my upper rotation 1 via voiceover again because I still can't figure out how to work out those wireless mics. But let's get straight into it. This has got to be one take. Schedule is tight today, so let's get the ball rolling. If you have been watching the content on this channel, you'd have already seen this upper session. This is my upper rotation 1, as mentioned 2 seconds ago. When it comes down to bodybuilding, it is extremely repetitive. You'll have a training model in place for a prolonged period of time. I'm talking 4, 5, 6 months. You run it into the ground, mate. And the game plan is super simple within that training model. It's to take progression as frequently as possible. So I track all my lifts via a logbook. I don't have a pen and paper one. I'm not a fan of them. It makes me feel like I'm in an English lesson. I have rep count, which is just on my phone. I literally write down the setup of each exercise, and of course the resistance I use to work within certain rep ranges. Then when I repeat that session, the game plan is just to beat those logbook numbers, either via increasing the reps I'm performing when using the same resistance, or increasing the resistance and matching reps. If I'm a proper rude boy, I sometimes manage to increase the resistance and increase the reps. All these sets are performed to failure, as you can see. Moving forward into the second exercise, which is the hammer strength incline machine press. There's plates on the floor. You might be thinking, mate, the plates don't go on the floor, they go on the machine. However, I'm 5'8". If I sit on this machine with no plates on the floor, I'm on my tiptoes. And if I'm on my tiptoes, I can't create much stability. And if I can't create much stability, I can't produce much force. And I want to produce as much force as possible. So I have the plates on the floor so I can drive my foot as hard as I can into the floor. Pretty simple stuff. If you're a short king like myself, I recommend doing the same. It works well, mate. As you can see here, that is the look of a man that is dead inside. But then a good tune comes on, the smile comes back on the face, and I'm ready to get after the next working set. Taking 2 working sets a rep range. First one 6 to 8. Second set's maybe 10 to 12, but I believe I do miss this set. Felt like crying. Only joking, I don't cry. I'm hard. Tough as nails. But when it comes down to this chest dominant press, all I'm thinking about is using a reverse action cue. So I think about drawing myself harder back into the bench rather than pressing the handles away from me. As you can see here, again, that concentric tempo slowing down involuntarily, thanks to a slow contraction velocity. Big words, making me sound smart. Supinated lat pull down, first back exercise of the session. This is lat focused. When it comes down to this bit of kit, I'm now using the most resistance I ever had. Ever have? You know what I mean. It's the strongest I've been using this bit of kit. Now, when you first touch resistance that you've never touched before, you can see that internal focus slip. But that is normally down to where your head is at. You're no longer focusing on the cues. So for example here, I wouldn't be focusing on locking that shoulder down to the hip, pulling that elbow into the base of my spine. I'll be thinking, God, I've got a lot of weight on the bar, I hope I can move it. If it looks good externally, keep the resistance the same, and over time you will get more comfortable lifting that load, and then that internal focus will return. A lot of people shoot themselves in the foot. They increase resistance, they see that internal focus slip slightly, that mind to muscle connection is what I'm talking about, and then they go back to what they were lifting before. Not ideal, mate. Stay with it if it is looking good externally, if it is tidy, if you are in control of the entire range. Moving forward into the next back exercise of the session, upper back pull down. Here I'm drumming the elbow behind the body just to bias that upper back musculature. The goal here is to get a lumpy, bumpy upper back, mate. Go! Oh! Moving forward into a standing unilateral cable lateral raise. What a mouthful that is. Now note the cable height here. It is at that height for a reason. 90-degree force angle has been created. Very, very smart. Getting technical over here. The reason I want that 90-degree force angle at the start is so the machine's at its heaviest. It's heaviest at the start, then as I drive through it becomes lighter. So that resistance profile matches my strength profile. Where I'm strong it's heavy, where I'm weak it's light. Pretty simple stuff at the end of the day. So definitely use the same setup if you are performing this movement pattern. We now move forward into a cross-body tricep extension, taking 3 working sets here, rep range 10-15. I'm a big fan of this movement just because it allows me to follow that natural carrying angle. Just think about driving my hands down towards the floor and keeping the elbow in relatively the same position the entire time. Running out of things to say really. It's training, isn't it? Pretty basic. Standardise execution, standardise your setups, and just take progression as frequently as possible. As we can see, again, concentric tempo slowing down involuntarily. That is what we want to see. That's what makes effective reps. Now moving forward into behind the back down or cable curl. Again, super simple cues. Keep elbow in relatively the same position and just drive the hands towards the ceiling. Don't you just love that when your camera does not want to focus? I could have screen grabbed that and had that for an Instagram pic, but I can't now, and I'm heartbroken. Excuse the squeaky office chair. I always say I'm going to fix it and I never do, so if it is coming across on the audio, I do apologise. When it comes down to the monster, mate, I do have it in this. Is that brightness? Whoa, that's bright. There we go. I do have. Oh, I want a bit brighter actually. I feel like I'm in a dark room. I don't like it. There we go. Is that decent? I think it's decent. I do sip it in this Daisy glass with a straw. And I know what you're thinking. That is so alpha. And you are right, my friend. Reason being, got my teeth done. They're composite. And I'm just funny with like coloured. Well, then that's not a coloured drink, isn't? You know what I mean, though. Like anything like fizzy, I don't want it around my teeth. Same with like pre-workouts and intra, because I'm so confident that they're going to stain and go yellow or something. But anyway, that is the video. Bit of a ramble. Hope it gave you an insight into my approach to training. I don't deep it. You might think I do because of Instagram, but I really don't. I program exercises that I enjoy performing on that. Let's go again. Let's keep that in. I program exercises I enjoy performing and exercises that I can perform to a high level, and then I just progress them as frequently as possible. Super simple stuff. But remember to like, subscribe, comment if you're feeling dangerous, and I will see you in the next one.